Salam in the peace. You got your partner, Puka Duty Squad, better known as AAWRS1. Dig it? Coming back at you with the prison fire camp stories. I'm going to pick up from the Nortenos that had to go on a torpedo mission, right? As you well know, and as I've been telling you guys, the SURENOS and the Nortenos, they be going back and forth. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes, as soon as we get off lockdown, if they get a chance to get at each other, they get a chance. So I remember it was full yard. Everybody was on the yard, all cliques, all races, and the SURENOS, they took off on the Nortenos, right? Boom, laid it down. Now I'm gonna tell y'all my relationship I had with this cat Shorty who was a Norteno. He was running the Nortenos that was in there, which wasn't many. But I knew his connection on the yard was deep because I used to see him with all the other ones. You know what I mean? Little short dude. Funny as hell. He used to tell me his stories. He had some incredible stories. And he was like, man, it's got to go down now. You know what I mean? And I was like, y'all got to hit him, right? Y'all going to hit him? He was like, hell yeah, we going to hit them fools, man. He said the youngsters right there. And I was like, the youngsters? He's like, yep. He's like, they getting sent. And I was like, what? He was like, yep, they getting sent. I was like, damn, Shorty. You know, I was like, damn, man, is there anything that you could do? Look, I'm like, is there anything you could do about it? You know, they youngsters, man, but they cool. But, hey, they also grown men. You know what I mean? I'm acting like they children or something, right? They grown men. But, you know, once I came into Islam, I started learning about humanity, right? Like I told y'all, I usually didn't give a F about nothing or nobody. Family members included. You see what I'm saying? Tapped into this here, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Like he say, Allah got a sense of humor. He does. Because he will take you from being numb to having all the feelings in the world, probably. You see what I'm saying? Depending on who you are and how he wrote your life. Anyway, he was like, yeah, man, they got to go. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. And he was like, man. I said, Shorty, ain't you like tired of this shit, man? You know what I mean? And he was like, man, I am tired of this shit, man. You know, but I keep getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? He's like, of course I want to be out. Of course I want to be doing this, man. I want to be kicking it with my family. He said, but I just keep getting caught up, man, every time. I get out, I start doing cool. I get drove back in, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's more to his story, but I'm going to keep it short. Now, remember, I told you I used to talk to the two Nortenos all the time. They was cool, the two youngsters. And they was doing the same thing like I told y'all in the Christianity to Islam series on, I think it was the last video I did, or the second to last video, when I was talking about the big white boy that had the stuff, the tobacco and stuff up in there. They were doing the same thing. And I saw him preparing it, and we was talking about it. And I was like, man, you know, I was like, homie. You know, to me, that's like, you know, now when I think about it, that's like crash dummy status, right? But it's also crash dummy status for a Muslim too, because you be thinking the same way, and you want to be about it. You know what I mean? And you feel what you doing is right. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, there ain't no way y'all can get out of this, huh? They was like, no, we going in, man. It's going down. You know what I'm saying? And it's just how it is, man. It's just how they grew up. You know what I mean? Just like when I lived in the Bay, I didn't hang around. Well, D wasn't really no Norteño. There's this cat named D. He taught me how to hustle at the Coliseum, like the Raiders football games and the A's games and stuff like that. And he was Mexican, right? We're going to call him D. We used to give him a hard time, too. We used to give him a hard time, because he only kicked it with brothers. You know what I'm saying? And then there was the SA cat I told you that was from High Street Bank Boys. You know what I mean? Because he lived on High Street. You know what I'm saying? We're going to call him L. He lived on High Street. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the main street on the back of that main street going down there, I want to say it's in the 40s, because it's in the back of Fremont High School, right? The front of Fremont High School is I just can't remember, y'all. It's been so long. It's in the 40 somethings. because I remember 4-8 mob with Sir Imp was around when you been that corner. You come around Fremont High School, whoop, been that corner right there, and then like 4-8 mob was over there with Sir Imp. That dude was, I thought that dude was super large until I met him, and it was a trip. I met him after my boy knocked his broad. He had knocked his broad out, right? And then my boy had knocked his broad, right? And then, and whoo, we gonna call her T. She had the longest, prettiest, natural hair. Well, of course it was gonna be natural because she was mixed, right? But her hair was all the way down to her ass, to her designer jeans. Let's get back to what we was talking about. You see how I get, y'all. So they getting ready to go on a mission, man. They getting ready to go and do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, man, well, I'm going to keep it with y'all until y'all got to do what y'all got to do. You see what I'm saying? I want to speak on the cat named T when I was learning the Arabic. He ended up teaching me Arabic. Mujahid was teaching us. He learned the Arabic so fast and got it so quick that he ended up teaching me. You see what I'm saying? And that right there was remarkable to watch. To see a brother go from not knowing no Arabic at all, not knowing no Islam at all, just asking questions about Islam, studying books and stuff like that, and to see that man teach himself Arabic and then start teaching others. But it was torpedoism on it, because we was close, but then there was a misunderstanding, and Allah wrote it like it was, and I'm gonna leave it there. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Richmond brother that was in the dorm with me and him ended up talking on the phone out on the street. You see what I'm saying? Because he wanted to buy some cars. I told him, about the car business up in here and how I was doing. You know what I mean? Which ain't much, right? To keep it real, but I have went in and tossed a couple. And he was like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah, man, you can come down and buy a few cars. You can get the ones that you want for yourself or whatever. So he was like, cool. So we was trying to make arrangements, you see what I'm saying, to hook up. And my man was going to come down here and buy some cars. And I was going to get plugged up with a commission for the plug. You see what I'm saying? Because, I'm shooting you the plug for you to come down. Then after that, you ain't got to fuck with me no more. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's how that went. Me and Brother Wasim still was cool. I told y'all, didn't nobody, when Mujahid they tried to get Mujahid with another case before he had parole, so he had to leave. And when he left, didn't nobody step up. I ended up doing a khutbah, and then he came back. And when he came back, I think I told y'all that story. They asked him, he didn't want to do the khutbah, man. You know what I mean? So me, I'm the torpedo. I'm the crash dummy. I did the khutbah, but I can't say this. It made me feel good when he told me that he was impressed, because that brother was super knowledgeable. But I did have a misrepresentation of one ayah that he helped me correct, and then I was able to tell the ummah what it was, right? But it wasn't nothing real super major. But to me, I was like, for that brother to say to me that he was impressed, right? I'll never forget it, right? Okay, boom. Now, we getting ready to do the finals. In the training, like I told y'all, you got to do the push-ups, the sit-ups, the hang in on the bar. You got to hang off the bar for a certain amount of time on the pull-up bar. And then the last two painful-ass exercises is the stair climbers and the burpees, right? And they work you. I mean, your legs be like rubber. You see what I'm saying? Upon you passing, because you quit going through any of the tests, and they do jumping jacks too. You quit, you run out of gas, you stop, you can't go no more, you get injured, out. You got to do it all over again, right? And I'm telling you, when you get to the end, you blessed enough to make it to the end, your arms, your legs, arms, everything feel like rubber. You be like stuck. All you want to do is drink some water for a little while and then just hobble back. You know what I'm saying? To the dorm. Like for me, it was like, man, like I said, I wasn't out there balling or nothing. I just started getting in shape when I got there, So now it's time to go to the scholastic part, right? Now, we're running around with the fire orders. They give you the fire orders. Really, you don't get the fire orders until you start the class, but there's fire orders floating around. So You need to get the. So we used to all get on them fire orders, right? I can't remember none of them. I think it was only 10, right? I can't remember not one of them right now, right? Anyway, that scholastic training is brutal, right? Especially when you ain't been to school or nothing, and your study habits are like nil, and you get up in there with them and they showing you them films, and then they on the board, they drawing stuff, and then they sending you your paperwork, and then they giving you them little quizzes and stuff, man. Yeah, it's brutal. You know, I was worried, but like I said to y'all, once I got in there, like after a couple of days, stuff started coming back to me, like bow, 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 bow. So on all those little tests, right, I was doing good on, you know, but I still was worried though, you know, because I didn't want to recycle, man. I want to get on, you know. Like I said, fools was coming in before me, leaving, but coming in after me, going to classification before me, leaving, going to camp before me. And I remember the young G, man, he was going misses. I remember he said, man, now all you fools is getting ready to leave, yo. Because but he was short at the time, right? But that was cool. He was like, man, all you fools finna leave, man. It ain't gonna be fun no more. Because everybody start, you know, shooting, you know, leaving and stuff, right? Because like I said, man, we had a tight unit, man. And we was solid up in there, right? Now the time comes for the finals, right? And when you take that final, boy, you be nervous as hell, right? At least I was. I forgot how they tell you how you pass. Oh yeah, they send you a ducat. That's right. They send you a ducat. That's how you find out that you pass. Because if when they send you a ducat, it's either gonna be a recycle. You got to do it again, or boom, you go to the next phase, which you get the Nomex, you get the tools, you go out in the field. Man, I got that ducat that said I was going out in the field. I was like, alhamdulillah. Fools was like, Raji, what you got? What you got? I said, man, I'm going out in the field now. They were like, oh, okay, cool. Boom. Now you get hooked up with a fire captain. But before all that, you go on your first hike. Your first hike is right in the parking lot. There's a big ass mountain right there. That's like your first hike. And I'm telling you, it broke all of us off. That hike was mean because it's like straight vertical like. It was mean. That's the first hike. It kicked all of our asses in that class. This one dude who came running down at the end, he couldn't even stop. He couldn't stop running. He ran into a car in the parking lot. Bow. Died. Hey, when your hips get to burning, this is when you're hiking. This is when you know when you're hiking. When your hips get to burning. Your thighs and hips, that's where I feel it. When I used to hike, when I know I'm really hiking, yeah, them thighs and them hips, yeah, they get to burning. You know, like Richard Pryor say, you know, you put a little sunshine on it, they open up them. But that first hike whooped everybody's ass, right? Then after that first hike, you get hooked up with a captain, then you start going out on the CCV. Then you start getting into tools, you start learning how to cut line, you start learning about how to tie in the line and things of this nature. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that right there because I'm moving this faster because, you know, I don't want to hold y'all hostage. So you do that hike, and man, it's beautiful country around there. Oh, I do have a correction. The brother who I was telling you about, whose mother was a Muslim, he was out of Oroville. Okay? So some of y'all may know about that. It's around Jamestown, around that Central California area. It's from Oroville. That's where he was from. And man, it's beautiful country around there. When you riding in that CCV, man, you looking down at that lake down there. I don't know what lake that is, but inshallah, I'm gonna go there and fish. So inshallah, you know, upon me getting some more cheese and be able to do something, I'm gonna go there and fish at that lake. They have houseboats all on the lake. It's beautiful. I can see it all in my head right now. The scenery, where we was hiking at, all that, right? So inshallah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. As far as the Islamic Ummah was concerned, we was still our little unit, and we still kept on pushing. And I had that little disagreement with partner. Left that where it was because I'm getting ready to book anyway. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what that was. So I like to say big ups to all my new subscribers. Big ups to you guys that check me out on the regular. Big ups to you guys who check me out every now and again. And big ups to you guys that's on the fence. Y'all know what to do. Go ahead and do it. You got your partner, Pookie Dooley Squad, better known as AAWRS1. Dig it? Y'all know what to do. Go ahead and do it. Salam and peace. Remain blessed, you and your families. Please stay tuned for the next episode, y'all. And please, like I said, I'm going to try and bring up some of them old videos because I know a lot of y'all don't want to fall back in there. You know, I'm at 700 now, and I never would imagine I'd have made that many. And they're not the best quality videos, but hey, it's 700 and something of them, y'all. So, you know, I'm quite sure there may be something on there that you may like. So feel free, man. Go on and dig down there and see them old videos. And inshallah, I'll get your laugh on out of the mistakes that I done made or something. You got your partner, once again, Pookie Dooley Squad, better known as AWRS1. May you and your families remain blessed. Please come back for the next episode, y'all. Salam. Eating peace.